Hi, I'm Matt Collins. I'd like to welcome you to Bob Weber Auto Mart on Douglas Avenue here in Racine, across from Douglas Park. We specialize in 1-year-old, low mileage, almost new cars. And if you'd like to stop by and see them, or see them on our website, bobweberautomart.com, we could save you between $5,000 and $10,000 on your next almost new car purchase.
Welcome to another edition of Sports Junkies right here at RacingSportsZone.com. Steve, Sparky, Fifer with you. Normally I say Sports Radio 1250 WSSP, co-host of the Wendy's Big Show. Well, we're still on AM 1250, obviously, but now we've launched an FM station as well, as you can see here by my nice new t-shirt. Sports Radio 105.7 FM, The Fan. You can check us out.
Are you be passing those out? Do we get some freebies?
I'll get you one,
some perks for being your friend?
Absolutely, yeah. You can check us out at 105.7 FM, The Fan. .com for all of our shows. Gery Woelfel, of course, of the Racing Journal-Times. Welcome back from your Alaskan cruise. How was it?
It was wonderful.
Yeah?
Sitting on a crucial ocean liner and looking around and seeing nothing but water.
So you didn't have fun? It wasn't good?
No, on a 1 to 10 scale, I'd give it a 9.
Really?
Yeah, it's fabulous. Anybody that gets an opportunity to go to Alaska and see the extraordinary scenery out there has to do it. Just a unbelievable place.
All right, let's talk a little high school football here. Thanks again to Mike McGivern, our high school
can I tell you something?
for filling in the last couple of weeks.
While we're talking about football and that cruise, I got a tie-in here. We were on a little outpost called Skagway, right?
Okay.
And we're taking one of these excursions. We're on a bus. We're driving into the mountains, and we go by this little high school. And the tour guide points out, and this is where the local high school team plays football, right? I go, okay, cool. And all of a sudden I look at the field, right? What do you think the surface is?
Grass.
Take another guess.
AstroTurf.
Take another guess.
Sports turf.
Take another guess.
I don't know.
Gravel.
What?
They play their high school games in this town on gravel.
Gravel?
I'm telling you.
How is it marked?
I have no idea.
Are the lines marked?
They'll play I think Juneau or Anchorage, and they got to take ferries to come over to,
Right.
I mean, these aren't like 1 hour ferry rides. They're like 3-4 hour ferry rides to get there.
Right.
And for what she didn't explain why, but it was unbelievable. I'm thinking,
so the parking lot really was marked. They had lines for the yard markers.
They have the sideline markers, but everything else is all stone and gravel.
That is not.
Hey, they're men in Alaska.
No, that's stupid. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start off with the Southeast Conference here, and the story of the week, in my opinion at least, is Racine Horlick. They sit a game out of first place right now. There's a three-way tie at 3-1 in the Southeast Conference between Indian Trail, Oak Creek, and Franklin. Some upsets last week in the Southeast. So it's kind of leveled the playing field a little bit. Horlick, who we really hadn't counted on at the beginning of the year, we talked about rebuilding, reloading, whatever, a little bit younger, it's going to take some time. And their running game is killing people right now. And the reason we're starting with Horlick is because I've done a lot of high school football. I don't remember another time where I've seen this. They beat Park 45-27. Okay, no big deal there. Mm-hmm. Fine. But Aaron DeFord, 20 carries for 205 yards.
Right.
That's a big day.
Yeah.
The other running back, Devin Berry, 23 carries for 204 yards. 409 yards rushing from two people in the same game. That is insane to me.
Oh, it is. I mean, that's the Russian attack, and, kudos to Brian Fletcher, their coach.
Yes.
And you're right. I mean, coming into the season, I think Horlick was an afterthought.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, maybe they'll be a 500 team or below. Nobody was thinking, hey, that they could be playoff bound.
Right.
And they got a legitimate shot. I mean, this is a huge game.
Sure they do. They now have coming up, they're at Bradford this week. Now, I don't know. Bradford pulled an upset last week. So I don't know what Bradford's going to look like this week. It seems like Bradford's getting better. So we'll see what happens this week. And then Park, they get Oak Creek this week. Well, okay. So, but again, Horlick Bradford, that's a big game. Horlick gets Bradford there and can keep pace with Oak Creek and Indian Trail. And Franklin, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I think we all knew Devin Berry was going to be a good running back coming into the season, but like you said, DeFord has really stepped up.
Yeah, he has.
And, I mean, Horlick makes no bones about it. They're coming at you. They're going to play smash-mouth football. And so far, it's worked out for him beautifully.
And in other years, Horlick will spread you out and throw you the football.
That was the Machado era.
Machado era,
where he didn't know that.
Now he's at Pius.
Does he ever run the ball there?
No.
Okay.
No, he's at Pius now. They're on Thursday Night Lights on My 24.
I'll be sure not to watch.
Well, they don't have a chance. They're playing Greendale. And Greendale's going to kill them. It won't be close.
Go Greendale.
Franklin is taking on Case. Franklin beat Case, I should say, 28-14. I'm noticing a trend with Case. In following Case, like I do all these teams every other week, I'm noticing a trend. They are getting killed in the second half of football games. I mean, they got scored 21-0 in the third quarter. They were in that game going in the second half. They've been in most of these games going in the second half. And in the second half of games, they are getting drilled a lot of times.
And you know what? That surprises me. That's a great observation, but that surprised me because there's a lot of good coaches that I think are motivators in this county. But I think Pancotti is an exceptional motivator. I mean, you know, you've been around him, I've been around him, and he gets us fired up when he talks, you know. So I'm a little surprised that at halftime he doesn't. You know,
it's something that they have.
Might be depth.
Might be. Could be.
You know that they tired of the second half conditioning. Who knows?
It might be. I mean, it's depth, or it's coaching adjustments, or it's just coming out flat. I mean, there could be a number of reasons why you struggle in the second half of football games, but that's just something I've kind of noticed here this year, where in games that they lose, you can normally point to the second half and go, that's kind of where it fell apart on them, where they're in games. Now,
does Andrew know this, or do you got to text him and let him know?
No, I didn't tell him anything.
You better give him a heads up.
Go through all my notes. I'm just looking at them going, man, this tends to be common.
So, I mean, you are Mr. Case, you know.
I love Pancotti and Case, absolutely.
Hey, you know, one other thing, Case, that has really caught my attention. I really thought this was going to be the most explosive team in the conference, if not the county this year. I mean, they got some great
talent.
You know, how many points in 6 games do you think they have?
Probably averaging 120.
You'd think at least 20 points a game, right? 111.
Yeah, I mean that's what we wanted.
I think that might be the fewest in the county.
Yeah,
and that's nothing what we expected from that team.
Yep, no, absolutely not. No, I thought their offense would be much better too. Let's move on to the Southern Lakes Conference now. St. Cat's just continues to roll, and it's funny. I got to tell you a quick story. So,
your quick story.
No,
it's going to be what, 5 minutes?
No.
Okay.
So I'm doing my prep for this week, right? So I'm going through, I'm taking my notes, I'm getting all the final scores from last week or whatever. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not really paying attention to St. Cat's until they get to the big game against Catholic Central, October 10th.
Which is a week from Friday.
Right, I've been waiting for that game now for 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, by the way, you know what they call Catholic Central's field?
I did. I've done games there.
The Topper Bowl.
The Topper Bowl.
Isn't that great? I love
right.
that, the Topper Bowl.
So I go and I check out the scores, right? I look and I see they lost to Dominican like 65-55. I'm like, what? What is this? So I hit the box score.
Is this basketball or what?
Yeah. I hit the box score of it, right? And I look at it, 24 points. What? Yeah, I'm like, oh, this is basketball.
Diamond Stone had a triple-double game. 100 yards rushing. Yeah.
Right. So that was just crazy this morning.
Okay.
They beat Troy Lutheran last week, 49-32 last week. They go to Martin Lutheran this week. That'll be another win. Bump is 115 yards receiving. Ernest Cobb, 19 for 97 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. And Andrew Smith, 9 for 92 on the ground, 2 touchdowns. And then he threw 1 in the air as well. So just another complete game for St. Cat's.
Okay. Now there's 3 regular season games left. In your wild imagination, did you ever think St. Catherine's was going to be this good?
Not with as many young guys as they have. I mean, they've got freshmen and sophomores coming.
18 of their 25 guys are freshmen and sophomores.
Do you know what that means? Metro Classic, you're in a lot of trouble for that. You're in a lot of trouble.
I mean, it's just
because they're going to get bigger. They're going to get bigger because of the off-season program that they have, right, with Dan Miller. He does a great job with that. So they're going to get bigger, stronger, faster, and he says they're loaded coming behind these guys. So if they're even better coming behind them, yeah. It's over. I mean, they're just going to annihilate people for the next few years. I think. Catholic Central might be the only team. But Catholic Central doesn't have the depth, though, either.
But, you know, like St. Catherine's, they got a heck of a coach. And if you have a heck of a coach,
great.
You know, that's where it all starts. But, you know, getting back to coaches, Dan Miller has just done a terrific job. I mean, this will be their 4th straight MCC title in a row if they win. I mean, he's just done a marvelous job.
They just win in football. They win in basketball. I'm sure they win in other sports as well. Catholic Central thumps Dominican 54-19. No big deal there. Cole Kreskin continues his big year. 13 carries for 191 yards rushing the football. They next go to Thomas More. That'll be another win.
Yeah,
Thomas More is brutal.
You know the thing about Catholic Central, in the last couple of years, they have had sluggish starts. I mean, they did not come out of the block.
We say this every week.
I know, but
every week we talk about it. Every year they struggle.
But this year they haven't.
I know that, but we talk every week. We do these videos. Every year we talk about the same thing with Catholic Central. Nobody can believe how strong they started. And as usual, they're starting to get stronger and stronger. It's going to be a heck of a game. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I tried to convince my guys at Fox 6 to let me go to that game for Fox 6 for that Friday night.
At the top of the bowl.
At the top of the bowl. Yes, I can't wait. Okay, Burlington, I should say Racine Lutheran, they beat St. Joe's 35-21. Racine Lutheran coming out and having a big performance from Shamaz Williams. 24 carries, 143 yards. Austin Blaying.
How many yards did he have?
143.
Okay, he's having a terrific season.
On 24 carries, and then 5 for 126 receiving, I should say, for Blazing for Racine Lutheran. Again, they beat St. Joe's. Next up for them, at Dominican, and that'll be another win. I mean, really, there's no good games this week in the Metro.
No,
Burlington's going to get hammered by St. Cass. Thomas Moore's going to get hammered by Catholic Central. Racine Lutheran is going to beat Dominican, and that's that. All three of them, boring. There's nothing there. Moving on.
That's not true. Diamond Stone could be at the game. That would be worth going to.
Moving on to the Southern Lakes Conference. Burlington hammers Westosha Central 41-6. Burlington now goes to Delavan Darien. Burlington in first place in the Southern Lakes Conference. That's another one. I'm not sure anybody picked Burlington necessarily to win the Southern Lakes, but they look good with the new coach.
Yeah, I really thought Waterford was going to win that again, and Waterford's still good.
Waterford's offense is coming around the last couple of weeks. We'll get to them next. They're coming.
And I'll tell you what, their defense is as good as ever, so don't dismiss the Wolverines.
Yeah. Burlington, it's a one-man show. We say it every week. He's following me on Twitter now, too.
Who's that?
Brad Burling, their quarterback. 6 of 15 for 200 yards throwing the ball, 3 touchdowns, 15 carries for 99 yards, and another touchdown on the ground. He is, in my opinion, the best quarterback as far as dual option. And I know the kid Bond at Brown Deer is a bad man. He's a very, very good quarterback.
A bad man.
But Burling is right there with him, and I don't know.
Hey,
I got homework for you next week. Find out how many scholarship offers for you. Yeah. How many scholarship offers Burling has. I want to know because every week he's putting up big numbers.
Yeah, but you got to take it into account. This is a pass-oriented team, so he's going to put up big numbers.
Yeah, but he's running the football.
I agree.
He's passing and running. And this isn't just drop back like Stave, look. No, that's not what this is. Yeah. He's rushing and he's running. Or throwing the football. I'd like to know.
Another quarterback who's played well and he's been kind of under the radar is Matt Nelson from Union Grove. And what's really impressed me is he's not putting up those big gaudy numbers, but he's very, very efficient. I think he's thrown like 8-9 touchdown passes, 1 interception. If you have a quarterback that can hold on to the ball, doesn't make mistakes, you're going to be in games every week.
All right, then next they have at Delavan Darien, like I said. Waterford over Elkhorn hammered them 45-7. That offense, like I said, is coming along. So they next go to Westosha Central. That'll be a good game there. They go 2-2. Burlington comes in 3-1 in the conference. Waterford comes in 2-2 in the conference. Woodmont beats Union Grove last week, 27-6. Union Grove now gets Elkhorn. Remember, Elkhorn was out in front of this conference, and now they have fallen back. Maybe more into reality.
Hey, speaking of the Elks, on my tour to Alaska, go down the road, Elk Crossing.
Oh.
Not Deer Crossing, the Elk Crossing. Like that, okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Just a little tie-in with the Elkhorn Elks.
He's Gery Woelfel of the Racine Turtle Times.
It's great to be back with you, man.
Marky Fifer, I missed them. Make sure you tune in next time to Sports Junkies, the high school football edition, right here at RacineSportsZone.com.